So you're looking to buy a flat in India's Silicon Valley. Well, if you're diving into the Bengaluru real estate market, you already know it's an exciting, but let's be honest, incredibly chaotic journey. Today, we're going to transform that experience from a stressful gamble into a high-stakes quest that we will absolutely conquer together. By the end of this explainer, you'll be armed with the ultimate survival guide, giving you the exact knowledge you need to protect your hard-earned life savings.
Okay, let's quickly run through our 5-step roadmap. We're going to hit budget and finance, finding that ideal location, navigating the legal maze, the actual purchase process, and finally, registration and handover. All right, step 1, budget and finance. It's time to master your money. You know that massive property price tag? Yeah, well, that's literally just the beginning. The sticker price is never the final price. You absolutely have to factor in stamp duty, which in Karnataka sits around 5 to 6%, plus a 5% GST for under construction properties. Oh, and you cannot forget the interiors. If you aren't budgeting for these extra slices of the pie from day one, your entire financial plan is going to be thrown completely off balance. So how much liquid cash do you actually need sitting in your bank account? 20%. You need to keep at least 20% of the total property value ready to go as a down payment. Why? Because banks generally only fund about 75 to 80% of your loan amount. That remaining 20%? That's basically your baseline entry ticket into this market.
Before you even think about looking at properties, go get a home loan pre-approval from major players like SBI, HDFC, ICICI, or Bajaj. Doing this clarifies your real buying power, so you don't waste time falling in love with places you just can't afford. And listen, never ever forget the hidden costs. We're talking advanced society fees, car parking charges, maintenance deposits, and club memberships. These quietly add up to lakhs of rupees.
Moving on to step 2, finding that ideal location, or as we like to call it, scouting the terrain. You really have to match your home location to your workplace. If you work in the IT corridor, focus your search on Whitefield, Sarjapur, or Marathahalli. On the flip side, if your office happens to be in North Bangalore, areas like Hebbal or Yelahanka are going to be absolutely perfect for you. We all know commuting across the city can be downright brutal, right? So strategically placing yourself near your work hub is simply non-negotiable. Now, beyond just the commute, you really need to do some on-the-ground field research. Track the metro lines, specifically looking for properties near the purple, green, yellow, or pink lines, because proximity to the metro practically guarantees better resale value. And here's a big one. Investigate the monsoon flooding history. You definitely don't want to get stuck in a low-lying area when the rains hit. Oh, and always visit the neighborhood at different times, morning, night, the weekend, just to get a real feel for the traffic and noise levels. Step 3 brings us to the legal maze. It's time to navigate the paperwork. I want you to treat this part not as some boring checklist, but as your ultimate defensive strategy. First, verify that the project is actually registered on the Karnataka RERA portal. Second, check the title deed to make sure the seller has a clear, marketable title with zero disputes. Third, and this is absolutely vital, obtain an encumbrance certificate, or EC, for at least the past 13 years from the sub-registrar office. This is exactly how you make sure there are no hidden loans or liabilities secretly attached to the property. Now, your absolute best shield against any builder's legal tactics is hiring an independent property lawyer. Look, the builder's legal team is there to protect them, not you. Protect your life savings by having your own expert review every single clause of the sale agreement before you even think about signing your name.
Which brings us to step 4, the purchase process. Let's talk about negotiating your deal.
Okay, so this is where you can save some serious money. Builders in Bengaluru often have about 5 to 10% wiggle room on the price, or they'll throw in some free upgrades. But while you're negotiating, you need to keep your money safe. Only pay a really small token amount, something around 50,000 to 1 lakh rupees. Literally never hand over massive sums of money without a highly detailed, signed agreement to sell. If you're buying an under-construction flat, you absolutely must insist on a construction-linked payment plan instead of a time-linked one. Let me break down why this matters so much. With a construction-linked plan, you only pay your installments when actual physical milestones are met on the building site. A time-linked plan, on the other hand, forces you to pay up just because a date on a calendar passed, even if the builder hasn't laid a single brick in months. Always, always tie your money to actual physical progress. And finally, step 5, registration and handover. It's time to claim your prize. Think of this as your final checkout list for the local sub-registrar office to make the property officially legally yours. Both parties have to be present. You'll need to bring all your original documents, your PAN card, Aadhaar card, and passport photos. And brace yourself. Be prepared to pay that 5% stamp duty plus a 1% registration charge right then and there. This is the exact moment the title transfers to your name. But hold on, before you move in and happily sign that possession letter, you have to do a thorough snagging inspection. This means inspecting literally every inch of the flat. Check the fittings, test the waterproofing on the walls, verify every single electrical point, and test the plumbing. If you find defects, and you probably will, demand that every single snag is fixed, and get that promise in writing before you take those keys. Now, you might think we're totally done, but wait. Here is the final boss-level twist of this explainer, the OC. The occupancy certificate is hands down the single most important approval for a ready property in Bengaluru, period. It's the municipal corporation's official declaration that the building was built according to approved plans and is legally safe to live in. You'd be amazed, but a shockingly large number of flats in the city have been sold without this certificate. Why is that a complete disaster? Well, because lacking an OC will totally destroy your ability to get home loan approvals from reputable banks. It also makes it nearly impossible to get a legal, permanent water connection, which, as we know, is a massive deal in Bangalore. And when it finally comes time for you to move on, a missing OC will absolutely tank your property's resale value. So it all really boils down to this. A dream home without an OC is just a nightmare waiting to happen. If you follow the structured steps we've laid out today, from budgeting for those sneaky hidden costs to bringing in your very own independent lawyer, you are going to protect yourself in this wild market. But you've got to stay vigilant right up to the literal finish line. So I'm going to leave you with this one critical, haunting question to keep in the back of your mind during your home buying journey. Are you absolutely sure your builder has one?